Welcome in, everybody, to the JJ and Pug Show. It is June 9th, 2024. We are recording from the Highland Communities podcast studio, fresh off of the Celtics win in Game 2.
I just hate that they took a 2-0 lead. I know that the Mavs will probably come back and win 2. I don't think the NBA will let them get swept.
Well, even if the NBA won't, and we've well chronicled my distaste and dislike of Luka,
Yeah.
I think it's similar, and we figured out this last time. It's the way you felt about LeBron.
Yeah.
It's 100. I think that's probably. So I understand your dislike of LeBron because I'm like, yeah, that's the same. I can't deny that he's great.
Yeah, no, yep. There's no denying
amazing.
talent, nothing like that.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see him win.
Having said that, I don't think he will lose. Whether the NBA wants it or not, I think Luka is that special of a player to be able to prevent his team from going down 3-0.
I think he'll just take over.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of did today, but he just didn't have no help. And it looked like he was banged up. He was all bandaged up before the game. Did you see that?
Yeah, they in fact had to list him as questionable for even playing in the game.
Yeah, like he had his rib cage protected, his knees and stuff. So, I mean, he's playing almost every minute.
So I'll say this. This is one of the things about Luka that I don't like. I never know whether or not he's actually hurt because it's the same thing. Dang it. LeBron does the same crap, right? Where it's always like whenever any kind of contact is the worst contact he's ever experienced his entire life, right? Luka's always hurt. He's always hurt. So when I saw the notification come across my phone that he was questionable, I'm like, BS.
Well, I would never have thought he wasn't going to play.
Yeah, he's definitely going to play.
But it's still, like the wear and tear on the body, right? They're 82-game season, right? Isn't it 82?
82 games, yeah.
Now
Plus
you've taken
forever long
Yeah,
postseason.
like you're talking, he's played at least another 14, 21 games. Let's just, probably not that much, but he's 18
No, he probably
games
has
in,
because
right?
each series is 7 games.
So, the first one
Almost.
is not 5 games?
No, it's a best of 7 in every one. So
worst case, he's played an extra 21 games. Now he's at 23 games in additionally. So he's over 100 games into the season.
Yeah,
I mean, your body's... And not everybody plays as much as he does.
No, and that's the thing about Luka and guys like LeBron. Like when you look at like LeBron's career, he's played like another 10 seasons than other guys. Just because of his entire career, he's always been in the postseason until he got to the Lakers. Suck it. But with Luka, it's the same thing. Like when you look at that guy, you know he's not in peak physical form.
No.
Right? He's not. But yet here he is.
But he is 23, and you know what? He can go to sleep and wake up and feel great. So, he ain't feeling it.
No.
So.
But the thing about him is, and my buddy and I were talking about this, the thing about him is his body. There's nothing about his body that makes you think that this guy cares at all about physique.
And that's the difference between him and LeBron. LeBron,
Total
the
difference.
reason he's had the longevity he's had is because he takes care of his body. He
Right.
is awesome. His physique is legit.
But then you also look at like guys like Jokic. Jokic was a good basketball player. He became a great basketball player once he actually started taking care of his body. And he still doesn't look great.
Still
but
big
he looks,
fat white guy.
Yeah, but he looks so much better than
Right.
he did 5 years ago. Like he actually started taking things seriously. And I think the same thing with Luka. Once he starts taking that portion of the game seriously, he's just going to be
Well, and I think it's just
unstoppable.
being young, right? Knowing that you can eat whatever you want and really not put on any more weight. You're just going to be the same every day. Like, you don't care. He's probably treating his body like an amusement park. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
Doing whatever. Eventually, 25, 26, 27 years old, he's going to be like, okay, maybe I should start investing into my health if I want to keep playing.
Yeah, and I think the way that usually happens is when you lose. Like, when you start to lose a lot.
Yeah.
And he hasn't lost a lot in his career.
No.
So maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. Maybe he, remember Last Dance with Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
Where he's like, okay, now everybody on the team, we're all lifting. Like, we're not just running anymore. We're lifting because we can't get past the freaking Pistons.
And
they
helped.
did.
Yeah.
They finally did.
That's where they worked with Tim Grover, I believe, right?
I don't remember that name.
I think he's the trainer. He's the guy who wrote the book Relentless, and he specifically he trained Jordan, Dwayne Wade, all those guys. But yeah, he's I think it's something Grover. I think it's Tim Grover. But yeah, he's a athletic trainer guy, just legit.
When you said that, when you started talking about training, I just started thinking. Did you ever see the movie Hustle with Adam Sandler? It's where he's the basketball scout for the Sixers.
It's
it's
newer,
newish.
like Netflix movie.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. No, I haven't. I know what you're talking about.
I just watched it. Dude, it's so good.
Is it really?
It is.
Like a good bad movie?
No,
Or
like a legitimately a good
bro, that
movie.
just reminded me. Remember the movie I wanted to talk about with Kurt Russell?
Yes.
But we said we'd get back to it?
Yeah.
Okay. Breakdown.
Breakdown.
You never saw
I've never
Breakdown?
heard of Breakdown.
Really?
Because when you're going to say that, I thought you were going to say like Escape from Little China or something.
Breakdown. Him and his wife are traveling
Big Trouble in Little China. That's what it was.
traveling across the country for something. I don't know if it's vacation. I don't know what it's for. But they go to a gas station and they leave their hood up. And when they leave there, they experience car trouble. And dude, it's this whole thing. I don't know if I want to blow the movie for you,
Dude,
because
I'm
I think
looking
you
it
should
up
watch
right
it.
now. 1997.
Yeah,
Okay.
dude,
A man searches for his missing wife after his car breaks down in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, bro, it's
Okay.
so good.
That honestly sounds terrifying.
Yeah,
That sounds like every man's worst nightmare.
bro, you got to watch it. Like, I want to watch it right now.
Okay, let's see. Where's this thing streaming at?
I don't know.
Oh, it's streaming on Paramount Plus, which I am not paying for and won't.
I can give you
I've
my
hit-
login.
Okay.
I give it to you right now.
So I have hit my limit on signing up for
I
streaming
don't even care.
services.
I'm all about sharing. Sharing is caring, bro.
Yeah, dude. Screw you, Netflix.
Yeah, I don't care.
All right,
They're
dude,
getting
well-
us every which way we can.
Yeah, I actually got to the point where, I don't know if you do this. I do this, where I go through these phases of either I'm watching a TV show or I'm watching movies. And right now, I'm in my movie phase.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't. I watch a little bit of everything. I don't. Did I like to sit like today? I sat down to watch TV, and my kids own. I don't get to watch crap, dude. I watched the. You know what? I woke up at 6 this morning. You know what I was watching? The women's collegiate championship track and field, buddy.
Oh.
Phenomenal.
Was it? I was
Bro.
going to say, my face. Well, first off, I don't care for track and field,
See,
so that's
But
just not my
did you
thing.
ever do track?
Yeah, I did.
And you don't care to watch it now?
Not at
like,
all.
When you see these people doing like crazy times and stuff, you're like, dude, this chick out of Florida, Friday, she won the championship in the 10,000 meter.
Oh, my gosh.
10,000 meter. Actually, I don't know if it was Friday. It was 2 days prior to this because I don't know if this was a live broadcast. So probably not. This was probably yesterday. So Thursday she did it. Then yesterday, or this show, she's 2 days later, she ran the 5,000 and she crushed it, bro. 2 days later, she was less than 0.2 of a second away from qualifying for the Olympics in that race. And when she gets done, she's like, oh, okay, like she's hugging everybody as they're coming across. Everybody else is crossing the finish line and falling on the ground,
Yes.
like just completely exhausted. And she's hugging people like, oh, thanks. And they asked her about the Olympic race. She goes, yeah, I really wasn't going for it this time. It just I just felt good. Like she was just in a vibe. And dude, her pace was, she was running like she was averaging a 5-minute mile.
See, that's insane.
Like just over a 5:15 mile.
People that can do stuff like that, it's just crazy. I'm not going to say, I don't want to watch it, but it doesn't mean that I'm not super
So you're not
impressed by it.
jazzed for like the Summer Olympics?
Don't care one bit.
Oh my
gosh. I'll watch
bro,
some.
I can't. You watch baseball for crying out loud.
Yeah, dude, the Summer Olympics are during my baseball season, man.
Dude.
They can't be expecting me to switch allegiances.
So you weren't even into like Michael Phelps back in the day?
No, like I said, I will watch. There are certain appointment viewing events. Like, I mean, dude, come on. I'm an American, all right? I love America.
Right.
There are times where you have to put aside what you care and what you don't care for to show your patriotism.
Right.
So when it came time for Michael Phelps down in Australia to show everybody what America's all about, better believe I was watching that happen.
Okay, you had Phelps fever. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And the fact that he came as a swim coach at ASU, a little bit more pride, right? But do I ever care about any of these events at any other moment? No,
Dude,
I just don't care.
I sit and watch them. Like my brother-in-law's the same way. He's got kids that run track still. He's like in his 50s, but dude, him and I will go to a track meet with him, no problem, and don't even know any kid. And just watch. Dude,
you couldn't do that.
It is just so fun to watch. These kids are so fast nowadays.
Dude, I remember being in track. I was only there to hang out with my friends. Once I ran my meet, I was done. I wasn't watching anybody else do anything else.
The only reason I did track was because of the chicks, dude. Like, and because they made me is for football, right? Get faster. I ran the 100, whatever. Dude, like, okay, I'll do that. But the rest of the time, it was like, dude, chicks from all these other schools,
Hanging
absolutely.
Hanging
Bro.
out.
You want me to hold your blocks? I got you. I got you. You need somebody? I got you.
Dude, that's the thing is like that's the only reason why I went was just like we'd all hang out in the bleachers, scope.
Just good time. Yeah.
Dude, I still remember we went to a Blue Ridge and me and my buddy went into, and I'm not going to release his name.
What year was this?
This was 05. It would have been 05. I think we were seniors.
Okay. Because I'm like, dude, if it was 04, I'd have been there.
You know, it might have been 04. It was 04 or 05. It was one of those 2 years.
Yeah.
And we went up to Blue Ridge High School, and we went into the boys' locker room, whichever lockers were open, and took everything outside. Took all of it. I think I still have a track set right here in my house from Blue Ridge High School in 2005. But we only did it just because we actually never even played Blue Ridge.
Yeah.
We never played them. We only played Sholo, and I think that's it. I think we ever played Snowflake or anybody else. But we still hated them.
No, so, I get it.
I mean, we still hated them. So we definitely went there, did whatever we could.
What'd you do in track?
4x1 and the 1.
See, yeah, I did the 4x1, the 1 shot and disc.
Yeah, you definitely. That's hilarious. Like you were doing, because our shot and disc guys were not sprinters in any way, shape, or form. Dude.
Yeah, it was really strange, but yeah, we were We took state 2 years in a row in the 4x1 team.
Yeah, we didn't do it. I think I was probably the weak link in my 4x1, and that's just because everybody else was fast.
I was with everybody was running backs, and I was a defensive end, and I'm running the third leg, bro. I'm like, all right, I don't care. It's awesome.
See, I want to say, I don't remember everybody. I remember the one guy was my buddy, and he was a soccer player. He was our kicker.
We had one of those my senior year.
Yeah, he was our kicker. And dude, that guy, he could sprint. He was a sprinter, and he was easily the fastest guy, I want to say, on that track team. But outside of that, like, I was a little bit behind him, but everybody else was just a little bit ahead of me. I can't remember. I'm not even going to mention any times because I don't remember enough. And it's just
these kids nowadays are crushing them.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to beat anybody now.
My nephews are on the team where we had school records for my team, and they've shattered them, dude. And you're like, these kids are just so fast, dude, now. And I don't know if the GMO in the food or what, dude, but it's just some of these kids are just lightning fast. I mean, they got the 4x1 record right now is like 36 seconds or in the 30s,
Holy
bro.
Crap. Are you serious?
I'm not kidding. It is stupid. Like,
dude, that's 4 nines.
Dude, it's crazy. Like, watch. Like, I'm gonna Google it right now for the fastest high school time. But it's literally like in the 30s, bro. It's like 38, 39.
Insanity,
dude. It is nuts, bro.
No, dude, that's freaking crazy. And I think some of what you're saying, though, I think some of it also has to do with kind of the same way with professional athletes today. They take their craft or whatever it is so much more seriously. Like, one track mind. There's nothing else in the world. This is all that I do.
Yeah.
That's kind of like when you don't hear about guys in professional athletes, you don't hear about them getting in trouble in the club anymore, right? You don't even hear about guys that do that anymore outside of James Harden. Everybody else, what do they say they do when they're done with their game? They go home and play video games. That's all they do.
Okay, so Atascodia boys, I have no idea. They set a new high school record for the 4x1 relay with a stunning 38.92.
That is so
This
crazy.
is high school kids.
That is so crazy.
This is not like, these guys have been trained sprinters for years and they're adult male. No.
Dude, that's
38.92.
If we would have had 4 dudes doing 10 seconds, nobody would have believed me if I said that.
Right.
In the fact that we've got, at least 2 dudes doing 10 seconds, other 2 dudes doing 9 seconds.
Dude, they're doing what? Yeah, it is insane.
What's Usain Bolt's record? Is it 7 what?
What? In the 100?
In the 100.
No.
Is it
in the sevens?
Is it 8?
It's got to be. Dude, it's probably like 9 something. Dude.
No, it's not 9.
It's no way it's 9s, dude. I'll find out.
Yeah, I got to look it up. I remember that he probably could have beat it by even more had he not led up at the very end, but because he was so far ahead.
Yeah, I know, but he just showboated right away.
I would have done the
Not
same
that I
thing.
blame him, but
no. I mean, the fact that he was so far ahead of the competition, I do remember watching that live because that was one of those appointment viewing things. Like, I don't care about track and field, but when Usain Bolt's going to go do that,
9.58.
9.58 was his record.
Yeah, and that is. Dude, that is unreal.
That is.
Michael Johnson, I think, was the guy's name from America.
See, hold on a second now. His record is 9.58.
9.58 is Usain Bolt's current the current 100-meter world record at the 2009 World Championships, clocking an astonishing 9.58 for the feat.
Okay, and you're telling me that a high school boys group did a 4x1 in 38 point what seconds?
38.92.
That does not compute.
It's because it's so crazy.
That does not compute because not only are you sprinting, then you are also passing the baton.
So if you figure but if you're perfect handoffs, right? And a lot of times that's where kids lose it in high school, right? Is their handoffs they run up too much on somebody,
yeah,
and you're like almost butt to butt with them. But they're handing it out perfectly. And if you figure if the first guy's running, let's just say the first guy runs 100, the second guy runs a 90. The third guy runs 110, and then that curve, and you're only running a 90. I mean, if you can plan it out. I don't know if this is how this worked, but these guys, 38.92.
I just think, dude. Let's see. Okay, so I just for me, I just looked this up, and this is according to Google's AI, which I've seen lots of things tell me that most of the time this doesn't even know what it's talking about. So take that for what it's worth. As of May 26, 2024. The men's world record for the 100-meter dash is 9.58, set by Jamaican sprinter Usain Bolt in 2009. Bolt also holds a world record for the 200-meter dash of 19.19.
Insane.
And the 4x1, 36.84.
Yeah, just reading that. That's the 4x1 that still holds it.
Dude, 36.84. So
that's how is that even possible?
Yes.
Like how do you if you figure that's 4 guys running it's a 9.
4 guys running 9.
Everybody's running 9 seconds.
Yeah, and Usain Bolt is at 9.58. That's why I'm like, how This is what my brain is like trying to fall apart here.
I think I don't know. I'm trying to think of how it works. Like you have to figure if it's a rolling start because Usain Bolt gets he gets to start before he actually gets the thing.
Yeah.
So if you're already running, whereas you're not coming out of the blocks when they
right.
count.
Yeah. No, that's something to be considered for sure.
That
definitely.
So that's going to cut off a little bit of time there.
Yeah. That actually solved every problem I was having in my head with that fact.
The only guy
right
that probably does, I wonder if we can see the splits because I bet you the only guy that's probably relatively slow, for lack of better words, will be the guy that
starts.
Yeah.
And okay, now that tracks because I'm just thinking like, dude, with that high school team, holy crap, how did they turn out to do a 38-second 4x1 at a high school?
So Usain Bolt ran an 8.98 in that relay.
Was he the fourth leg?
Split. Yes, he was the fourth leg. Tyson Gay, which I don't know if these are all their guys, but he ran a 9.05.
How could you not have Usain Bolt close it out? Like, unless of course you just want to have the greatest start ever.
He ran an 8.71 in the 2010 Penn relays, Pennsylvania. I don't know what that means, but
I don't know what it means either.
Dude, that guy. So I'm saying, like, you figure you've got to factor that stuff in, but yeah.
I remember when Usain Bolt hit that, and he was like, all the rage. Everybody knew everything about that guy.
Of course.
And I remember it was maybe a year later, maybe 2 years later, he was on an ESPN commercial trying out to play for the LSU Tigers as a wide receiver. Dude. He couldn't catch anything.
Couldn't catch anything.
He couldn't catch a single thing, but they kept going like, yeah, but he's fast.
Yeah, but he's so fast.
And he's tall. I think he's like 6'5", 6'6".
Long leg.
Have that guy out on the edge.
Dude, so the girls relay, 40.82.
Dude, that's insane.
And so let's just talk about, you want to throw men in women's sports or women in men's sports. Look at the difference in just something as simple as sprinting.
Yeah, just running.
Not even contact. We're taking all the finesse, all this stuff out. We're talking just running is 4 seconds faster. Yeah. 4 seconds. That's an eternity in a track race.
Dude, it is.
That's half a football field behind.
Yeah. Dude, did you see that thing I sent you about Jonte Porter?
Bro, you've sent me so many
I have
reels.
blown
like,
you up recently.
My reel hole is so deep that
don't say that ever again. Don't say that ever again.
But it's true. The real rabbit hole is so deep, dude. Between you and these other groups that I'm in, I'm like, dude, I can't. And then I'm realizing, who sent me that? Did I send it to? Because I want to forward it to people now. Yes. When I see them, I'm like, wait, did I just get this from? Has Eric sent me this yet? Like, I don't know. But yeah,
no, dude. Same thing. Whenever I look at my Instagram, if I've got 5 notifications, I'm like, okay, so that's 20 because each one's gonna be, one person's gonna be 5. Yep. This guy's gonna be 5.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so but what the one was the whole Jonte Porter story. For you who doesn't know it, he was a guy that just got busted and banned from the NBA for life for throwing basketball games because he owed a crap ton of money to somebody he'd gotten into debt with. Right. So for the bets, he was always taking the under whenever he got into play. Right, and he'd get hurt mysteriously and come off the court.
I think you talked about this guy already.
We did. It's a couple, maybe month and a half, 2 months ago.
Yeah.
It was when the regular season was still happening. Anyway, this guy had not much of a career to speak of, right? He was a G League player, come in and play for the worst team in the league, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, turns out the reason why he was throwing these bets is because he'd gotten deep with
a loan shark?
With a loan shark or, a bookie.
How is a professional athlete with all that money? I don't even understand what people
get me started
think about.
How these things don't make sense to me. There are so few of this crap that makes sense to me. One, because when we talked about it originally before the story came out, I thought, how could you throw away your career for this, dude? You made almost no money on these things. Like, you were looking at, let's say if you become like a bit player in the NBA, minimum salary is like $1 million a year. Even if you're a 15th guy on the bench, you literally just warming a bench seat, you're going to make $1 million a year to work out, right?
To play a game.
So I remember being blown by them, but then finding out that sorry.
Did you just say what I think?
Hey, almost as bad as real hole.
Oh my gosh. No, I think that was worse.
Blown away.
I almost just spit out my water. I had to get that down. Oh my gosh. Okay, go on.
I was shocked
Okay.
at that moment. Then find out that this guy is not just a degenerate gambler. He is also in bad with the guys that are going to say, hey, you don't pay your debts, we're going to shoot you.
We're going to break your knees and you're never going to play.
Exactly. Later on, turns out that there's one of his accomplices got arrested at the Miami airport. He bought a one-way ticket to Australia with like $500,000 in cash.
In his suitcase?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just level with me here. Why is that a problem? Outside of him being a total whatever the issue is, why are you flagging somebody for hauling cash? Like, I don't understand why that becomes a freedom infringement on me. Like, why?
I think it's because it's not. Maybe it's more of like, hey, look into this guy. Why has he got a one-way ticket for $500,000 to a country on the other side of the world?
Okay, which I get, but isn't that a little bit of government overreach? Like, it's not like
you're not going to
nothing to say. I know I'm not, but it's just like that. Like, why? Like, if I'm dumb enough to have, what did you say? How much million?
$500,000
or $500,000 in cash with me in a duffel bag, and that is in my carry-on. It's none of your business.
I would say
if it's not a bomb or a gun, I don't understand why.
It's
like
nothing
you even
illegal.
Care.
It's nothing illegal.
Yeah,
I think it's 100% a red flag that gets flipped.
Well,
and especially if you don't declare it, if you don't declare, hey, listen, I got cash with me, I'm going here. Like, just you be aware of it. And obviously, he was a part of some investigation. Right, they were investigating this guy to begin with.
This guy's a little different. This guy I understand, but I'm just in general as a U.S. citizen. But it happens all the time because you have to be able to justify it. If you get pulled over and you've got cash, I always say, if you have a bunch of cash on you, better be able to explain why.
Yeah, what's your reason? You're gonna go do
what?
What?
Because I dug it up in my yard and I need to just. I'm gonna go blow it.
And I don't trust the banking system.
Yeah, I don't trust the banking. That's $1 million. Yeah, it's my $1 million. That's not yours. Now I have to prove that it's mine. How do you prove it's your cash, bro? Like, I don't have to. What if I've had this in a hole for 10 years?
Yeah, I mean, there is no way of proving that.
Or like, hey, grandpa died. Like, I knew where the hole's at. I'm going. Or
how did grandpa die?
How did grandpa die? I don't know. Like, old age. Or like, let's say you're cleaning out grandpa's house, right? And you see something on the wall and you take it off and there's a bunch of money in the wall.
Dude, I wish I had that grandpa.
I'm just saying.
Love my grandpas.
I'm just saying, yeah, it would be nice.
It'd be nice to have found that they stashed away $500,000 inside the wall.
Yeah, but I guess you just have to be smart about it, dude.
Yeah.
I'd pay cash for everything.
Back to Jonte Porter. Oh, by the way, we talked about the paying for cash and everything. Remember, guys, that's not always the smartest thing to do because we live in a system that is stupid and only rewards those people that go into debt because a credit score is so important. Different topic, different day. We talked about that before we hit record. So I just had to, But anyway, so Jonte Porter, this guy gets arrested. The reel I sent you was all about how they were talking about Jonte Porter and the fact that he was deliberately trying to throw games, deliberately trying to hit the under on whatever the betting line was for him. And his field goal percentage during that time was 40%. This 40%, okay, was, and again, bit player, not a good player, not a guy with a great future. His 40% is better than, what is it, the number 2 pick in the WNBA draft for Angel Reese, who's shooting 30%. Okay? It was just funny, and the only reason why I thought of it is because you talked about just look at something as simple as sprinting, the differences between a man and a woman.
It's just not the same.
It's just not the same. And I hope nobody ever thinks that when we say these things, we're saying that men are better than women. That's not at all. I think JJ has been very clear about how much he has respect for how much, more mature they are in his own home.
Women are superior species by far. Listen, I will go down all day long. I really think that if it wasn't for women undercutting each other, they would be in charge of everything in the world. But the problem is their biggest enemy is each other because they don't like to see each other succeed. And I will argue that all day long with any feminist, any woman's right lady, because it's true. Outwardly in public, they are super supportive. But, man, they will cut the throat of another woman to get ahead. And that's just in business, in life. I'm sorry. That's experience in my own world, but I've seen it over and over and over again.
I had to correct myself. Angel Reese was the 7th overall pick.
Yeah, she was projected to be number 2.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly where.
Okay, because you brought up WNBA, and we talk enough about sports. Can we talk about the Caitlin Clark saga not going on the USA team for the Olympics?
Oh, no, I haven't heard anything about this.
Oh, yeah, no, she didn't get selected.
Oh, wow.
And, dude, you've got all kinds of people. And you know what the reasoning was? I wish I would have saved the reasoning because it was in an article.
Pause real quick. I just wanted to say that Angel Reese is currently shooting 34.6% from the field. Over 5% less than the guy who's deliberately trying to throw games.
Okay.
Not to denigrate Angel Reese, by the way. I'm just, again, pointing this out. Go on.
So
why was Caitlin Clark not a part of the USA team?
One of the reasonings was that they were worried about the extreme following she has and there being an issue with all the people that follow her and then her going to the Olympics. I'm like, what? Are you freaking kidding me? You wrote that in an article? I mean, that's the gist. That is not exact words. I'll try to find it. But dude, I'm like, so you don't want women to come, you don't want people to come watch women's sports.
What?
Dude, it is insane. And you've got people like that are on the other side with Caitlin. Like, how do you leave the U.S. to go to the Olympics and not bring her?
Yeah, why would you? It's like back in the day when the Dream Team first hit, man. Bring the best players. Why would you not? That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand that at all. In any sport, why would you not want the best representation possible? Now, I will say, if you were to look at the WNBA league leaders right now, she's not on any of them. Like, she's not anywhere near the top of the league.
She's a rookie, and she's still getting beat up, and she's earning her keep by all means. But it's still like, it's what she brings to the table for your sport, and that's where people are upset about.
Yeah, it's. I would almost look like and say it's like the way that we describe Steph Curry on a basketball court. You know,
Right.
they came up with a new stat. It's called gravity, right? How much do you space the floor? Meaning, if Steph Curry is standing on the 3-point line, how many guys are shaded his direction, leaving more space for other shooters to be open? It's that, but almost in a social sense with Caitlin Clark. Like, how many of these people are just going to be gravitating towards that sport because she's around, right? How much are you going to pull attention-wise? Now, I will say that she currently right now is 4th in the WNBA in assists at 6.3 and 4th in three-pointers made. But that's it. Like, she's not close to the top in scoring.
And they were worried about her fan base being upset because with the amount of talent on the team, her lack of playing time could be a problem.
Oh, yeah, stupid.
I'm like, it doesn't matter. I think she seems like a pretty humble girl. Like I don't get this like arrogance from her. I know she on the court. I think she's a baller and she knows it.
Yeah.
But I don't get like outwardly like she like even you read the reports of what she said about not being snubbed from it. She's like, all right, it gives me something to work for. Like I grew up watching the Olympics. It'll be fun to watch. I'm still gonna watch. But for them to be worried about lack, I think she would understand that. Hey, look, you know, when you get in, you better play, but you may not play a ton. But it's just the experience you're holding back from a chick who's arguably changing the sport as much as it can be, and she's not doing it alone. I don't want to take that away from all the other girls, but she is the Steph Curry right now. Like they need to ride that wave.
Yeah, it's anytime that a league gets a player like this. Like, what did the league do once Michael Jordan started to arrive?
Yeah,
they pushed Michael Jordan, put this guy at the front of your league. Now, I recognize that apparently, and I'm not going to pretend like to be a WNBA fan. I'm not, right? I think I've probably watched one game in my lifetime. And that's with a team who locally, we have the greatest women's basketball player of all time, in my opinion. And that is Diana Taurasi, right?
Yeah.
She's still freaking playing, dude. She's like 42 years old. And she's still playing. That's insane to me.
Yeah, but do you wonder how effective like she's going to be in the Olympics? I mean, she's still balling out, but you're like, okay.
No.
Like she's one of those loaded team members you're talking about. Well, why don't you give the loaded, like she's a star player. She's going to need some rest. The Olympics is a long time. There's a lot of games.
And not only that, but I just look at it from the perspective of if you want your league to grow, if you want people to watch your league, you push your stars. You market your stars. That's what people want. They want to see the greatest play. Yep. Right? And I think that there's definitely some animosity towards Caitlin Clark for that because of the fact that she comes into the league and there's tons of things that change. Suddenly, everybody's allowed to have chartered flights when before everybody flew commercial.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a big
change.
That's
a $25 million change.
Yes, huge. And then the other thing is Caitlin Clark's coming into the league already making more than the next person because she hasn't crazy endorsement deals all over the place. So there's going to be some animosity. There's some jealousy for sure. But, I mean, if you're everybody else in the league, you got to look at it and say, dang, dude, we've got a chance here to grow this thing. We've got a chance to make this a legitimate sport that people are going to watch in the summertime, right? I mean, because the only thing they're competing with in the summer is baseball.
No.
And baseball's got 162 games for each team to market. The WNBA's got like 40. So you got to do something to make sure that you become, appointment viewing for some people. I don't know if that's ever going to catch me. And I'm not saying that I want to say it's because mostly for me, I'm a huge baseball fan. And once the NBA finals are done, I'm kind of done with basketball. I'm ready for baseball. And it'll be the same thing right around when, the end of, September hits. I'm getting ready for football. Like, it just kind of like, I don't know if it's like a biological clock with me. It's like the seasons change and my sports allegiance change. I know what's coming,
you
right?
have to.
And I'm not going to say it's not because I'm a fan of women's sports. I am a massive fan of Women's World Cup. Me and my wife, that is appointment viewing for us. So I think it's just for me more a matter of sports in a different time. It's like how many spring football leagues are going to come up and fail before we realize, nope, it's not going to work here. And I want it to work for whatever reason I want it to work.
I want there to be like a minor league football league so bad.
Which is what I think The Rock's pushing for with this UFL.
Yeah, he's trying.
I just don't know that minor league football
He has the money
works.
for it for a while, but I don't either. But at the same time, you play around with it and you like the ideas up there and you're like, okay, look, we're gonna run with it and we've got the money to blow on it to try, but you've got to there's just not a system in place. Like baseball has a system. That's why it works. You've got AA, AAA, but baseball's not the same sport when it comes to a body beating. You can't play game after game after game like you can in the basketball, or baseball.
Yeah, no, it's totally different sports, and that's why the minor league system works so well in the MLB. Because again, you got 162 games in a season. You're going to have guys that get hurt. It happens to every single team, and so even if a player is not that great, he's going to get called up from the minor leagues to fill a roster spot.
Yeah,
because they're going to need him. In the NFL, we don't do that. Like,
I know
you got 53 guys on a roster, and you've got 17 games to play, and you might sign a guy off the streets as a free agent midseason if you have too many guys go down. But I mean,
Joe Flacco,
but the thing is what's the name of your kicker for the Cowboys?
Aubrey.
Yeah, that guy was a UFL player or XFL or whatever it was at the time.
Dude,
and he didn't miss a freaking field goal all year, did he?
One. He missed one at the end, the last game. Something to do with the last. He did not make there was like a 50-something yard, but he crushed it.
Yeah.
Like he was killing it.
So, I mean, I think there's a space for it because guys do get signed off of those rosters. They're just not going to be difference maker players. They're going to be outside of a kicker, a person who is literally like living in the spotlight when their job comes up. When they got to go out there.
They're Kurt Warner. They're going to be the guys they're literally going to be stocking shelves at night doing things. Yeah. But then when they get called up, they've got to make the best shot they can.
Which I think is what makes the story of Kurt Warner just so amazing.
Right, absolutely.
Just so out of left field,
crazy left field. But I don't know. I think it's just unless you channeled it to where you couldn't enter the draft unless you did a year in the XFL. That would be something that would never happen, but that would be an option to maybe say, hey, look, that's how you get people to get in there. Is hey, after college, that's great. You can get drafted by the Bengals, but you're going to go play in the XFL for a year first because we want to see if you're worth a dang. That could work, but
that would never happen.
I know
because look at me and my excitement for Marvin Harrison Jr., right? If I knew he had to sit a year in the XFL.
I know, but you don't get that excited over baseball players?
No,
because I do. Maybe it's a culture thing, though,
no,
right?
I do, but the difference with baseball players, and I think it also, maybe cultural, maybe that's the word for it. I don't know what it is. Maybe expectations, because in baseball, a number one overall pick never plays their rookie season.
Well, what if they get pulled up halfway through the season, though? What
happens.
What if you get a Marvin Harrison Jr. who's like, hey, you're going to the XFL, but if he just starts crushing it, you're like, no, we're bringing him up early.
Yeah, I mean, things like that happen in baseball, too.
That could happen. You know, but I don't know. I just want there to be football year round, so I hope it works out. So I think we have something to watch. I think
some of it also is the brutality of football.
Oh.
Like baseball's got a solid, thriving minor league system. Basketball, the NBA, they've got a good minor league system, the G League, right? And that's because it's a finesse sport. Yes, obviously it's physical because if it wasn't, everybody would have to.
There's physicality to it, but it's not a physical game.
It's right. It's not. In football, we only have 17 games, and even when they added that 17th game, there was riots in the streets amongst the Players Association because they did not want the extra risk. Because a football game, there's risk on every play.
Well, and it goes down to almost back to what we talked about, the track speeds. You've got guys that are running those speeds that are hitting you.
At each other.
Running that speed at each other. Yeah, like this. So it's just, your body isn't meant to take that,
No.
And granted, I know we have more padding and more helmets that we have all this technology now, right? I really don't feel like there's a part of their body that's not padded outside of their shins and their arms.
And there's so many rules now that prevent you from doing anything that happened 20 years ago, 5 years ago, last year.
I can't wait, dude. Eventually, it's going to be the quarterbacks are going to be not tackable. They're going to touch them and they're down.
They're going to be wearing the red jerseys like in practice.
I think that's going to happen.
I had to say this really quickly. Remember me telling you that Caitlin Clark was like fourth in assists in the WNBA? She is first in one category.
3-pointers made.
No. Turnovers per game.
Oh, that's probably
5.6.
She made 7 3-pointers the other night.
I mean, I'm sure she's going to get that number's going to go up, but dude, nearly 6 turnovers a game, and she's almost equal on assists.
So
6.3 assists to 5.6.
There's
turnovers.
been a couple highlights with her, and what she does though is she opens up the floor like
The gravity.
we talked about.
Gravity.
And what happened? Like, dude, she had 3 people when she ran through a pick. 3 players got distracted and ran out to her at the 3-point line, and they left a corner 3-pointer wide open, and they made it. You know, like that's what. But that's what you're bringing to her, and you know, the world knows who Caitlin Clark is. If she's on that roster and she comes on the court, they're like, listen, this chick will throw it up.
You got the logo. Yeah, so you got to guard her at half.
You have to guard her. She's going to throw it up, and she's going to hit it more often than you think.
Yeah.
So
no, 100% true. The gravity that she has on the basketball court it's Steph-like.
It's a big deal. And they're just shooting her down because it's all, again, it's women eating each other, bro. Like, these girls are destroying her. Like, they come after, they're attacking her because, they're only saying this because it's a race thing because she's a white girl and we're people too. Dude, it's got nothing to do with this. It's literally just the fact that you guys are been in a league that has been total crap for so many years.
Nobody has watched.
Nobody shows up. Your ticket prices are in the single digits most of the time. And now you've got somebody, and it doesn't matter if she's black, white, purple, pink, or green. She is somebody who is bringing it, and you don't like the spotlight on her and not you. That's all this comes down to. So what are they doing? They're cutting each other's throat, dude, left and right with her. They're body checking her. They're not doing basketball plays when they're hitting her. Like, I think they should fine them like a lot of money. And I know $1,000 is a lot to somebody making $76,000 only a year when they're topped out. But it's still like there is one play where this chick just like she literally just comes up as Caitlin's trying to get the ball in. And just shoulder checks her to the ground. That is not a basketball play. That chick should have been ejected. And what's worse is your girl Angel Reese that you just mentioned earlier is on the bench promoting that and excited that she did that. I thought you guys were all about, being there for each other and women this and women that. You don't see that happen on a men's floor when you got a rookie come in who's playing well. Like they try to take out Luka, but they don't do it in that sense, right?
No,
like,
I say that
so vindictive
and just dirty.
Yeah, it doesn't
just
seem dirty. Yeah, I mean,
you're gonna want to beat him. You're gonna want to humble him.
Oh, for sure.
You're gonna want to make sure the kid feels
but
like,
that's
hey,
what
this
those
is a different
girls should
league.
be doing is going after her and making it super hard, right? Just chase her around. Don't let her get the ball. Anytime she wants to move, that's what you do. But you're just gonna shoulder check her to the ground because you
on
guys
a
are
throw it, on a pass,
on a ball in. Like here you
dude.
go under the hoop. Like yeah. I just can't handle it. It just pisses me off.
So I just wanted to quickly find out what was the average attendance. The average attendance was the team that had the highest average attendance was the Las Vegas Aces, and they averaged 9,551 people a game.
That's what I'm saying.
And they won the championship back to back. Those are back to back seasons.
They are the best team in
the highest attendance. And in 2023, the average attendance across the league 6,615 games.
6,000 people. There are more people than that at a high school volleyball game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like, so like when Caitlin Clark, it doesn't matter what she brings in. You guys should be. Everybody should be supporting the fact that she's bringing people in the door.
Okay, here's one. This is a story from May 20th. Right now, average league attendance across the league is up 76% compared to last year's.
Weird.
Yeah. And guess how high the Indiana Fever is, considering that's the team that drafted Caitlin Clark. How much their attendance has gone up?
45%.
So gosh dang, stupid ads. There's ads all over this page.
There's always.
BeyondWomenSports.com, you're the worst. This is a freaking joke, dude. All right, here we go. Indiana Fever they opened the season with their first ever sellout. There was a first ever sellout they ever had. They opened the season that way. And their attendance is up 325%.
Oh my gosh. See what I'm saying?
From last year's average of 4,067 people a game. It's up 325% because of Caitlin Clark. So yes, is she lighting the league on fire? Outside of the court, yes. On the court, she's still learning. She's still growing. And that's going to happen. That's the way it works. That's the way every rookie that comes in the league is. That's why when a rookie that comes into the league and doesn't struggle like that, that's why it's a story. That's why it becomes amazing, because that's not normal. When C.J. Stroud comes in as a rookie quarterback and lights the league on fire for the Houston Texans, that's a story, because that never happens. I want to say, I don't even know if we you had something you're saying. Finish what you're saying. Then
on the cut, right? It's the website, the cut. I'm reading about how the WNBA greats seem to have a chilly attitude towards her, and it's Diana Taurasi said, reality's coming. If it's one thing you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come into play with some grown women who've been playing in professional basketball for a long time.
Yeah, I remember.
I get that.
I think she said that actually on a broadcast. I think it was.
She did. Yeah.
It was when
where they do it, where
tournament.
she's sitting in the you can see her and
Yeah, I remember her saying that, and people they came at her pretty strong, like, "Hey, what's wrong with you?" And I remember listening to her defend it later. She's like, "Listen, I'm not talking crap about her. I'm just telling you this is what's going to happen. She is going to have a reality check. Like, it's not the same."
And she's experiencing it, right? She's turning the ball over more, but you got to expect that, right? It's like when a guy comes from college and goes to the pros in football. The speed of the game is dramatically different. You've got linemen that are 300 pounds running a 4.8 40. Like, they're 340 running a 4.8. You're like, what? You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
100%, dude. It's also entirely possible, and I'm not saying this is or predicting it, it's entirely possible that she could be a flop.
Oh, 100%.
Because that happens in literally every draft. Every draft, there's a guy out there that gets drafted that is a quote-unquote can't-miss prospect who is out of the league by the time his rookie contract's up.
I just don't get why you talk about Matt Leinart that way.
Hey, Matt Leinart at least got a second contract.
He did.
Man.
He got
did.
one. Max Hall. Which one do you want to go with?
Yeah. I mean, I'm talking about even guys that get drafted.
I know.
Just drafted guys. I mean, Ryan Leaf. Remember him? I mean, he was the guy that everyone's like, do you take Peyton Manning or you take Ryan Leaf? Like, he's probably – and it's unfortunate for him because he's had a rough life since. And a lot of it was because of the bust he became. It just weighed on him mentally. Like, he felt like he couldn't win in any part of life. But, I mean, it's like there's lots of examples of that. But there's also lots of examples of players that come in, the first 2 years are really hard, and then they figure it out.
And then they catch up to the team's speed, if you will.
They catch up. They learn. They start to recognize the differences in defenses. They understand where their shot is and how to get. I mean, it happens.
But
all of that
in the offseason, Diana Taurasi should be calling Caitlin Clark. Let's talk about the future of your sport.
Yeah.
Like, why can't we work together? Teach me. You know what? You're right. You're 42 years old. You've been playing basketball for 20 years in the WNBA. Teach me. Let me, hey, come with me. Now, if Caitlin Clark has too big of a head and has said, no, I'm good, that's a different story.
I think it's the other way around. And I think some of that's because Diana Taurasi is still playing. She's not playing on the Indiana Fever. She's playing here. And I, again, don't watch a lot of WNBA basketball. I've already said that. However, I listen to the local sports 98.7 all the time. And Diana Taurasi is a frequent guest. Dude, she is a trash talker.
Oh, yeah.
She does not back down from anybody. So I don't think that she would ever do that until she's done.
You think you could beat her one-on-one?
Not a chance.
Really?
Dude, no. No chance. No chance.
How tall is she?
I think she's probably 6 foot or 6'1". I don't think she's
tall. She doesn't look that tall.
No, but I mean, like, the tallest girl. I mean, that Angel Reese girl that just got picked that looks like she's like 6'8". She's 6'3". So I mean, it's like, okay, so maybe my gauge is totally off, but I want to say she's probably close to 6 feet.
She's 6 foot.
Okay, let's say because I know that she'd be taller than me, and I say that because I actually have a friend of mine that Diana Taurasi took him out on a date.
Wait,
you're blinking your eyes.
I know. Yeah. I had to. So she took him on a date.
He happened to be. He was hanging out with somebody at the same time, and they met with the Phoenix Mercury at that time, and they were all going to go out to eat, and he went with them. And Diana was like, "All right, you'll be my date, right?" If anybody knows this, Diana's gay. She's married.
I was going to say, I'm like, wait a minute. Like,
so it was one of those things where it was just
cool.
She was being super cool to him. She bought him dinner, like. And he has nothing but good things to say about her. Like, she's just really awesome.
I'm sure she's cool. Like, I got nothing. I don't even know.
And locally, like, when you listen to her on the radio, like, dude, I could hang with her, man. She sounds like she's a good time. Having said all that,
where she lives?
Yeah, she
like what part of town?
Wonder
if she's like a Chandler chick or if she's more of like a North Phoenix. You know what I mean? Or
probably Scottsdale. Not nice Scottsdale. Don't get me like.
I'm like, she don't make
Scottsdale.
that much. Like, wonder what her contract is.
And she had to also go overseas and play in Russia a lot. But the difference there is when you play in Russia, you're making $1 million a year.
Not here. She's only making. She signed a 4-year deal for $466,000.
I'd take that,
bro. She makes $116 a year,
and she's probably one of the highest paid players in the league. Oh man! To bring it all the way back, Luka Doncic lost game 2 to the Celtics, and while clearly hurt and injured, he still had a phenomenal game. He played very well. The difference is, and I said it weeks ago, I look at the Boston Celtics, and I think they have the deepest and most complete roster in the WNBA, in the NBA. And while they are up, Celtics are up right now 2-0, I think it would be foolish to assume that Luka is not going to win a game or the next 2 games in Dallas because he is good enough to do that on his own.
Oh, yeah, he'll be fine.
Remember what he did to us as the Phoenix Suns? That when we blew them out, like 2 games here at home, we went back there, they evened the series. And then we went back here.
Never lost.
Yeah, well, we came back here. We blew them out. Absolutely dusted the floor with them, okay? And it was like, okay, yeah, we're going to win this in 6. We're going to go back to Dallas. It's going to clear it. They go to Dallas and they win again. And then the infamous absolute meltdown. We're losing. We scored 28 points in the first half. Luka himself had scored 28 points in the first half. And that was the end of it. And that was the end of all of our hopes and dreams as Phoenix Suns fans. Because since then, it has been tumultuous. I mean, at least we're going to the playoffs. It's way better than it was back in the 2010s. But even still, like, he's not a player that's going to go quietly into the night. I just don't think that, even though I'm not a fan of his.
No, I definitely agree. I think he's going to.
We're flipping back and forth between the
I'm
WNBA
reading this
and the NBA
WNBA
so
stuff, but yeah, no. Luka's just he can't. He's going to take over, and I don't know. The Celtics don't look great. Like they have. I mean, but they are playing well. That one guy, Porzingis or whatever.
Porzingis, yeah, Kristaps.
Everybody's like, "Who's this guy?" Where did he come from? And he's playing well, but
he to me, him and Drew Holiday, excuse me, not Aaron, that's his brother. Him and Drew Holiday to me are what round out when I say the best and most complete deep team in the league, because you've already got 2 guys at the top that are really, really good. Jaylen Brown is a really, really good player. Yeah. And Jason Tatum. And you have Al Horford, the GOAT. They've already got good players. And then when they went and got those guys this offseason, I was just like, that's it. Like, they've got the team. Kristaps Porzingis is 7'3" and can shoot the 3. And Drew Holiday, and I remember saying this to you, why didn't we trade for him? Why did we have to trade for the other guys? Drew Holiday is a winner. He is a winner. That's what he does. And he does all the things that nobody else wants to do. He just gets it done. Anyway, I'm sad because I wanted him. I'm sad because I got to watch.
I feel like there's so much anger inside. You just let it out.
I just have to watch Luka Doncic play basketball. That's what I'm angry about.
I hope he wins. I'm just saying. I just hope he comes through. But.
I think he's going to win. He's going to win a championship in this time. He's going to. He's too good not to.
Well, you kind of hope so this time with Jason Kidd being the coach, and he had spent some time here, and he was kind of, he played some basketball here for a little bit. I mean, enough to where most people don't remember. Yeah. Like they don't remember that Penny Hardaway played here. Yeah, I remember all that. Yeah, I remember it too. Antonio McDyess, those guys.
I love how often Antonio McDyess gets brought up on here because he gave you a jersey.
No, I'm just saying, it's not a big deal.
Dude, you know how long Antonio McDyess played here?
Maybe 2 years.
2 seasons separately. Yeah. Played 1 season, left, and then he came back again. So it was like one of those things where...
What was the other guy's name? Cedric Sabalos.
Let's go. Man. Oh, yeah. Good old Cedric Sabalos. Do you remember Oliver Miller?
Oh, Big O, buddy. Dude, AC Green. Those are the great days, dude.
Dude, Danny Manning. Oh, those are... We had some players, man.
Dude, I watched the highlight reel of Charles Barkley, like his that game where he scored 44 points and 24 rebounds. Dude, it's hard to believe that when you watch him play that game, if you don't know how tall he is, he's only 6'4".
Yeah, he's playing power forward.
Charles Barkley is like 8 inches shorter or 6 inches shorter than everybody else playing that position.
Yes,
and he dominates that position. And then in that game, particularly against the Seattle Supersonics with Sean Kemp and all in the glove, he put in work. And you're like, he's my height.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm like, holy crap, man.
What's crazy is we don't remember that because Charles never won a ring, right?
Yeah.
So you don't get a whole lot of his highlight packages.
Nope. And Shaq loves to remind him, how many rings you got?
How many rings, Chuck? How many rings, Chuck?
He goes, did you see Shaq Shaq said, yeah, I got swept 5 times and he goes, you got swept 5 times? How you go to the Hall of Fame? You've been swept 5 times. He goes, how many rings you got, Chuck?
How many rings, Chuck?
How many rings? Yeah, that's what I thought. Let me finish.
Exactly. That's always how he says it. But at the same time, because of that, we don't see a whole lot of his. Yeah. But Charles Barkley, dude, He was a crazy player. Like I said, the nickname Round Mound of Rebound. Like, that's freaking awesome, dude.
And he, again, 6'4".
Yeah. Maybe 6'5" when he got drafted. But never the tallest guy.
No.
Always the shortest guy in his position.
And he could jump.
Dude, had bounce.
Yeah.
Had bounce. And it was, dude, how do you score that much when you're going amongst trees?
Yeah.
He literally went against a guy whose name was Tree Rollins. That was his name.
And he just dominated. It was crazy. It's just weird to watch that video because you just see it and you're like, I felt like I always thought he was taller.
Yeah.
And then when they're like, oh, yeah, 6'4", I'm like, what? I don't know. I just wish I could play like that.
I had I can't, this is another one of those things that I sent you. I can't remember if I did send it to you or not. But it was about the weekly predictions of the upcoming NFL season. Did you see it?
The upcoming NFL season?
Yeah, it was a weekly prediction of what was going to happen.
No.
Okay, so I've got to find it for you because I think I may not have sent it to you, and my hopes was that I would be able to surprise you with it when it came. But crap, no. I'm going to take a real quick break, y'all. We'll be right back because I got to find this, and I don't want you to listen to me as I'm searching for it. Okay, so I finally found it here. It took way too long to find this. We talked about the real hole being super deep. 100% that was the case here. All right, so here is NFL memes _IG. I'm sure you've seen this account pop up as a suggested one to follow because it happens to me all the time. The 2024 NFL schedule. This is the prediction of what's going to happen week 1 through 18. Week 1, Aaron Rodgers' other Achilles does the funniest thing ever. So the guy's going to pop his other Achilles. That's prediction number 1. Prediction number 2. Stephon Diggs throws a sideline tantrum after Tank Dell gets a single more target than him. So now he's with the Texans. We'll see how that goes. It gets better. Week 3, Kirk Cousins throws 4 interceptions in primetime, and the Falcons fans call for Michael Penix Jr. to start.
Oh, gosh.
the minute they get off to a slow start, that's going to happen. Okay, and we're going to hear it all over ESPN.
Penix, you can hear it. Yep.
Week 4, Xavier Worthy single-handedly cost Chiefs a game, Kadarius Toney style. Okay, that's the guy that they traded up in the draft to get. He set the record for the fastest 40. Xavier Worthy.
Oh yeah. And he couldn't catch the ball. I remember watching his first camp. He kept missing the ball.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
We'll see how this goes. But it's not like the Chiefs don't know what to do with fast receivers.
He's so fast.
Week 5, end of Burrow's mandatory 4-week stretch of being the worst quarterback in the NFL to start every season. How many times does it seem like every season, Joe Burrow doesn't look like he's got it, and then
all of a sudden he becomes Burrow magic.
Exactly. Week 6. This one was my favorite one. Oh, this is my favorite one because of this guy right here.
Broncos country, let's ride.
Russell Wilson
Broncos
tweets.
country.
Oh, crap.
Let's ride.
I forget how long that clip is. It goes on forever. Russell Wilson tweets, quote, STEEL, got it, unquote.
Oh, my gosh.
After his first 3 touchdown game, okay? He still got it.
This is terrible.
Week
Can't
7.
laugh.
This one's for you. Micah Parsons visits Penn State during bye week to touch freshmen in locker room.
What is that?
I don't know what that means, but it doesn't have a great connotation considering what happened at Penn State.
Oh, gosh. That's terrible.
I don't know what that one means.
I wonder, why are they tying that into that guy? I can't remember his name, but
Week 8. Swifties reach enough petition signatures to get Harrison Butker cut from the Chiefs. If anybody knows that story, look up that story later. That's a dumb one to me, but whatever. Week 9. Malik Neighbors requests a trade. Week 10. Refs call a hip drop tackle penalty on a failed 4th and 20 to hand the Chiefs a win.
of course.
It's going to happen at some point.
You know that's coming.
Week 11, another member of the Mahomes family gets arrested. I didn't know that many people were getting arrested in the Mahomes family, so that one's a new one to me.
Yeah, I have no clue. I don't follow it enough.
Week 12, Aaron Rodgers takes Jets receivers to South America for an ayahuasca darkness retreat during the bye week. That's with apparently his torn Achilles. Week 13, Cowboys intercept Daniel Jones 4 times on Thanksgiving, and fans get delusional. Quote, "This is our year."
It's always our year.
Week 14, Derek Carr drives another teammate insane. Week 15, Tyreek Hill assaults marina employee during OBJ's Miami boat trip. Week 16, this one is good. Caleb Williams comes out as first trans player in NFL history.
Yeah, that's coming.
Week 17, Bills run a failed trick play with DeMar Hamlin at quarterback with their season on the line. And week 18, Rashee Rice gets arrested for murder. So it looks like it's going to be a rough year for the Chiefs receivers.
All right, escalated quickly.
That's a solid line. Oh, man, I just love stuff like that. I love when people throw stupid crap like that out there.
It's so dumb.
That whole bit right there had a whole bunch of different funny things on it. Obviously, the internet's amazing. The internet's got so many great things. Like this one. There's never been a picture with less aura. A picture of Daniel Jones in the new Giants jerseys. They're throwbacks. Those are throwback jerseys.
Ew, I hate the Giants. That's just.
I hate the Giants too. To be honest with you, I hate every team in the NFC East. I hate them all. I hate the Washington Football Club.
I would agree with you. Outside of one, I agree with you.
But if you weren't a fan of them, you could see why everybody hates that entire division.
I get them. Yeah,
there's no division that gets more pub than that one that has less success than that one. The Eagles are the only guys that have won a championship in the last 30 years. Coming
Something
up on
like that.
Yeah, it's almost.
Shut your mouth, Eric.
I guess the Giants have won 2 within that 30 years.
Yeah, the Giants have.
Yeah, so it's really just the Cowboys and the Commanders.
Yeah, that's fine.
In 28 years. Not
hey, bro,
30.
this is our year.
It is, baby.
Just leave me alone.
I love how you just. This is our year. It's going to be our year.
It's always our year.
One of these years is going to be.
This is going to be different. This year will be different. Like before we knew it wasn't going to be our year. We just said this year going to be different.
You're no more delusional than every other sports fan in the world.
I don't care. As long as football gets on TV, I don't care what happens.
Hey, I remind you of these people, okay? We got shirts. Buy a shirt.
Yeah, buy a shirt. Like, what are you doing?
We got them here. They're at the house. They're $20. Now, if you want us to deliver you one, we can do it for $20, right? As long as you're not living in the West Valley or
I'll take you to the West Valley. I'll figure it out.
Right,
I brought my brother-in-law and sister shirts. They bought them, and I brought them to them.
Okay.
And they live. Let me just tell you, dude. There's Buckeye,
and then
there's like West Buckeye. I was like, holy crap, dude.
West Buckeye.
Just kidding. I know they're listening, so just kidding. But it's not really. Actually, it's super far.
But
my Tesla did make it in one charge. I didn't have to charge. I charged it home, drove all the way out there, drove all the way back. No problem.
That is impressive.
No, it was cool. I was like, the air, and it was like the cabin protection was on, so it wasn't overheating inside. It's totally good.
Those are funny things that I did not know you have to deal with when it comes to a Tesla.
Yeah, they have overheat. Well, it's a cabin protection thing. Dude, the best thing about the Tesla in the summertime, let me just tell you, okay? You have a button where you can say keep cool. It keeps the AC on full blast the entire time you go into the store or whatever, right? So you come back out to get in your car, and, dude, seats are cold. Like, you're just like, dude, this is... I don't care. I mean, yeah, obviously it drains some of the battery, like very little. It's not as much as you'd think. But if you're running around doing like we'll go to a Sam's Club and then Costco maybe at the same trip. Yeah. We don't want to leave food in the car. You can't leave food in the car. Dude, we leave that keep cool on, bro. It keeps that AC blasted at 60 degrees in there the entire time. So we get back in the car and you're like, oh, this is the way to go. That's my favorite thing about that car, dude.
Dude, that is nice. Don't remind me of this clip. You ever see Vegas Vacation? Vegas Vacation. So they're going to Cousin Eddie's, and they're walking out. Clark's like, hey, Eddie, you mean to help you with the grill? He's like, oh, no, don't have one. Throws the chicken right on the rocks.
Right on the rocks, yep.
So you just see him starting to spin. Dude, that's real life here, man.
That is.
Guys.
It's
that's
super
real life.
And in fact, dude, I have dark tinted windows, we'll say, and I bought an actual Tesla screen cover or a window shade cover, so it fits perfectly. Dude, you could sleep in that car. And what's crazy is the roof is all glass. It's tinted glass, but it doesn't get hot like that if you have in that little feature. Bro.
Dude, you know what I've never understood? One, I hate sunroofs. I hate moonroofs. I hate them all. With Tesla, why would you not turn that into solar panels?
Dude, here's the thing.
It's not going to do much. I know it's not going to do much.
But it'll give you a little bit.
It's something.
It's something more like to get you a little bit farther or something. You know what I mean? Just try to get you there. Here's what I think, and it's because of they can't give you everything at once, right? Because then they've got no market later in the future. I totally think that's coming because the entire top of it is glass right now. Why it can't just be solar panels or like little solar strips like every other place or something, whatever. I have no idea, but I'm like, why? But again, they want to get you into the car, so they don't give you all that. And then what they'll do is all these people that have Teslas, which is a lot.
It's a lot.
they're gonna when they roll that out, then they're gonna trade him in an upgrade. And if they're not thinking about this, Elon Musk, I swear to you, if you take my advice, can we copyright this? I just want my fair share, bro. You can have the idea. Hey, I just want my finder's fee.
If you want me to hold off on publishing this until you're able to get your ducks in the row.
Let me get my ducks in a row. No, bro, just like I don't need a lot. I'm not trying to get greedy here, bro. But Elon Musk, listen.
I just want to get rich. That's all. I just want to make sure
I don't
I'm
want to ever work again.
Yeah, I just want to retire.
My kids don't need to work ever. So
I'm just talking about generational wealth.
Yeah, I'm not talking about anything crazy. You're gonna make billions, bro. I'm just maybe a cool 100 mil. I'll go away.
I'll go away. I mean, this guy's already created solar panels on our roof tiles.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so that's why it's got to be coming. Like, I just don't think they do it all at once. Because then, what would you have to do?
I don't know. Everybody. I mean, it's the same thing with the reason why people buy a new car now. People buy new cars. Although I just was reading a Wall Street Journal article that says that people don't buy new cars anymore. Apparently.
Oh well, most people that buy cars buy them a few years old.
Yeah, always.
I bought
off
my
lease.
Tesla not like right off the lot because you had to at the time, but I wouldn't again. Like I would just buy them used from somebody. Yeah, like because we all know why. You lose all that value.
That value is lost immediately. Yeah. And actually, you know, the thing I was reading, I read this one probably I don't know, a month ago. I can't remember what publication it was on, but they're talking about the depreciation value and the depreciation rate for electric cars is significantly more than gas powered cars.
Oh. Yeah.
And so much of it is because of the replacement cost on the battery. Like the car itself is freaking dope, right? It's awesome. Yeah. But the cost of replacing a battery is significant. So when you do get to that point where you have to replace that battery, you might as well buy a new car.
You got to hope. So it's got a 150,000 mile warranty on the battery or 8 years, I think. You just got to hope that something messes up in it and they replace it for you. I think that just happened with the Ross, actually, with Karen Carl. I think they got a new battery put in their car because it's under warranty, something under. That's what I'm hoping for, like something like that. But I don't know, dude. I don't know how to. I would actually buy. If I was going to buy a brand new car again off the lot, in my certain circumstance right now, if I won the lottery, different story. But
right.
I would buy a brand new F-250, and because I'm going to keep it forever. Like it'll be the last truck I ever buy. Right. That's the only reason it would make sense to buy a brand new something, is just because I want to be the one to put all the miles on it. Because once I get an F-250, you got all the power of a truck you need. You can pull a fifth wheel, you can pull a toy hauler, you can pull whatever you want. I mean, maybe if I'm lucky, I'll buy an F-350. Then I really got the most of my truck. And then I just run that thing into the ground. Yeah, sure, 20 years from now, but I don't care.
I had thought about doing the F-250, well, not too long ago. But the reason why I decided not to is because my F-150, my standard F-150, has more towing capacity and more torque than the 2003 7.3 liter diesel.
Yeah, but yours is also a diesel truck.
Mine is, but yours... If you've got the 3.5 EcoBoost, you have more towing capacity than I do.
Really?
My diesel. My diesel has more torque than yours.
Oh.
But your towing capacity is more than mine.
Yeah.
The point I'm trying to make is, if I were to go back and buy an older truck, my truck now, even though smaller in a V6, it's worlds better than that one was. And I get 25 miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, if I'm driving that thing, I'd rather drive that than get an F-250 that's going to get half the mileage for something that does a little bit more than what I do now. But I don't need it. I don't need it.
No, yeah, I get it.
But I totally understand where you're coming from, because I had that thought where I'm like, what if I sold my truck and I just got myself not top of the line, but like a nice 250, because then I wouldn't ever have to worry about having to tow anything ever, because I don't tow things.
Right.
Like, but if I ever had to, which has come up, then I would have more than enough truck to do it.
Yep.
It is funny how we got on that topic. How did we get there?
I don't know.
How did we
don't
get
even
there?
have notes for tonight. I noticed there's like 3 things on there.
Yeah, that was
and like we're going at over an hour, I think, talking.
Yeah, bro, that's just what we do. When
I
we
know,
sit
like
down.
I can handle that. I don't care. Like,
We did cover all 3 topics though.
Yeah.
So I mean, good for us, because rarely do
check
we ever
those boxes.
We never, ever check all the boxes on what we said we're going to talk about.
My kids are always like, "Dad, what are you going to talk about tonight?" I'm like, "I have no idea."
Look at the list,
Like,
but that won't tell
like,
you.
I have no clue. Like I could give you a general thought process, but it really depends on what happens when we sit down. I have no idea.
Yeah, no. It's for me, the only time I know what we're going to talk about is when it's something special, like Coach is coming. Okay, so we actually had to prepare what to talk about.
Yeah, or the GOT draft.
Yeah, or the GOT drafts.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I know what we're going to be doing.
We talked about the WNBA for a segment.
For a chunk there, dude.
Like that was not on the agenda at all. We covered salaries of the WNBA.
I was talking about turnovers and assist rates.
Yeah, and nobody listening probably watches the WNBA.
Including us.
Yeah, I've never watched a game. I just watched the highlights on SportsCenter.
I will say, I remember years ago, I was watching a women's softball game, and my wife comes in, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I feel like I need to watch women's sports so that my daughter grows up thinking that, oh, okay, sports are fine. Like,
Yeah.
she doesn't have to play them if she doesn't want to.
Right.
But I don't want her to think that they're less than because dad doesn't watch them or something like that. And my wife's like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard about. Okay, never mind then. I guess I'm not going to do it anymore. So, I mean, we do watch them every once in a while. Shalay will watch whatever, if there's a volleyball
Y'all watch
tournament.
volleyball all the time.
Yeah, she'll watch a volleyball tournament. Like I said, appointment viewing is the Women's World Cup for us, but that's only every 4 years. But outside of that, she's like, yeah, you don't have to do
Did
something
you
like
see
that.
the Oklahoma State or the Oklahoma Sooners?
Yep.
4 years in a row for
Yeah.
softball.
They're a
Chicks, dude,
machine.
They
dude.
killed it.
They're a machine.
I thought
Oh,
Texas was going to knock them off. But
So here's something I was going to say, and this is something I want to talk about for a long time, but I don't know that it matters. Are we ever going to love college football again? Because I look at it and say the changes that have happened to that sport, not on the field,
you're talking about the NIL and stuff?
the NIL and the transfer portal. Like it's impossible. How do you ever build
just have
any
no
kind of
loyalty
love?
anymore.
None.
Nothing.
None. So you don't know who your coach is going to be.
No.
You don't have any idea who the players are going to be.
Well,
year to year.
and it sucks because for like some of the players who are like, maybe they're just not 5-star recruits. They're sitting here trying to figure out how to get by, and you got these guys that are getting endorsed because they are just that 5-star recruit that have got all these hundreds of thousands of dollars coming in, and you're like, dude, why aren't we giving it to everybody? Like giving everybody something?
They apparently that had passed. There was a settlement. I can't remember if it was the settlement of an antitrust lawsuit or if it was something that had passed somewhere else. I can't remember. But basically what it was is now schools can directly pay players instead of having to go through outside donors like NIL collectives and things like that. But my thing is I just, it's impossible for me to build loyalty and love for a program when you are turning over your roster every year.
And they do.
College was hard enough when it was every 3 to 4 years, right? When you recruit a freshman, you get this big time recruit. He doesn't play his freshman year because they don't.
They redshirt him.
Right. And then for the next 3 years, if he's really good, he's going to be gone for 3 years because he's going to go to the draft or something like that. Or in basketball, it's been a 1-year proposition for basketball forever. But it's just getting so hard for me to get excited about a college football season when I'm like, I don't even know who any of these guys are. It's like an entirely new roster every year, both in Tucson and in Tempe. Like, I don't know who to be excited about. I don't even know which college program nationally to be concerned with because the coaches have all changed. So it bums me out because college football was so important to me when I was in my early 20s and teens, like in high school.
I agree. Oh, yeah.
And now I'm like, I don't know that I care or even know how to care about it anymore. And I'm still a huge sports fan. It's not like I just stopped caring about sports.
I just enjoy watching college football. I don't really care so much about who wins. Like, I mean, obviously it'd be nice to see like an ASU team win or something like that. But I just like watching because I still feel like they are playing for something bigger, like in the sense of like they're trying to get somewhere still. In the NFL, you're talking about you're just trying to maintain. You want to be good. You want to stay this. These guys are trying like extra hard to make that play or whatnot. And I don't care about all the other nonsense. I just love watching the competitive nature of college football.
That I'm probably overlooking. I mean, I'm probably making it a bigger thing. And it's so much of it because like I miss being excited about a Saturday night's game.
I don't disagree with you. And there's still, I think you still have it because it's school versus school, right? It's the games where you're talking Bama versus Auburn, right? That'll always be a cool game because of the atmosphere of that place. Or when a team rolls into Florida in the Gator area there,
In the swamp.
In the swamp, yeah. Like there's an atmosphere there that you can't like nowhere in the pros is there an atmosphere like those kind of places.
100% correct.
So that's why,
nowhere else in the world,
right?
Because there's no other country that does college sports,
right?
It's a foreign concept outside of us.
So that's why I think maybe you are probably just need to evolve in how you like look at the sport, and so you can't get wrapped up in a player. You got to figure out if it's going to be anything, just sport. Just enjoy the game. Just watching these teams crush each other.
And I'll say I still enjoy the games.
Yeah.
Like I still watch the national broadcast. I'm talking about like, am I ever going to be able to be a fan of Arizona State, U of A? I'm going to throw NAU in here because they have a program. And
Chick ran in the championship today from NAU.
What?
In the 5,000, she took 5th.
It's because their track and field is second to none. I've told you this. They practice at 7,000 feet, baby. They know what they're doing up there.
I mean, she wasn't even remotely close to the chick that won, but she was still in the race.
Still in it. But I'm just saying, like, for me, when I'm looking at the sports, the football programs, like, I mean, it's hard to become a fan of those programs that we are always punching up, right? we're never looking down on other programs here.
Right.
We're always the one. We're probably mid-tier. We're probably not bottom of the pack, but we're not top. We haven't been for years in football anyway. And knowing with the transfer portal and such, that team that U of A had last year that was really good.
Yeah. That shocked the bowl game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably not gonna be this coming season.
Well, your odds are probably not. People probably got unhappy and left.
Coach pieced out. He's now at Washington.
Yeah.
How many guys followed him? I don't know. Honestly, I stopped paying attention because it's one of those things where it's like every offseason you're like, all right, well, transfer portal, everyone's gone. The fact that the quarterback and the receiver stayed was huge. That was a huge deal because they easily could have left and gotten some money somewhere.
But I also feel like the transfer portal is a good thing for certain players, though. Like I think it's kind of changed for them because I have a buddy who I work with. His kid played at ASU last year.
Yeah,
they redshirted him as a linebacker. He was a running back linebacker in high school. Played at Lake Havasu. Didn't play a lot, and he wanted to play. Enters the transfer portal. Boom! He just got picked up in Kentucky. They're going to make him a running back, and he's going to start. And guess where he goes to school? The name of this school is the best ever. And
in Kentucky?
In Kentucky.
And it's not the University of Kentucky.
No. It's a Division II school, probably.
Okay.
Or Division I double A.
Tell me.
It's what every man wants. Moorhead University.
No!
He told me that on the phone. That's how he told me.
Moorhead State.
I said, how am I supposed to remember that? And he's like, because it's what every man. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. I'll never forget. I'm like, I'm getting a shirt for sure, dude.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
Moorhead State, yeah.
Uh-huh.
See, the thing is,
so for them, I'm just saying, like, that's where I feel like for those kids, like, hey, I just want to play college football. Is he going to make it to the pros? I mean, obviously, with you start stepping down on the divisions, your chances are, Tony Romo came out of Miami, Ohio. Things happen.
Yeah.
What's that guy?
Carson Wentz came out of Northern Ohio. Or
Carson
Northern
Wentz
Iowa.
came out of North Dakota.
North Dakota State, yeah.
Right. So, I mean, things happen, but at least it gives him a chance to at least try. Because right now, sitting on the bench at ASU,
no one's seeing you.
No one's seeing you. And he's playing linebacker, and he's a shorter linebacker. So it's like, dude, I'm going to go play running back where this kid's quads are huge, bro. Like, he should be a running back. He's fast. Let him play. Dude, you never know what happens. Dude, they pick him up. He could be a fullback later. You have no idea. But if he doesn't get to play, you definitely don't have a shot.
No, I totally get that. Like, I am not saying that transfer portal is the worst thing ever because I remember when it opened, I remember thinking this is a good idea. Kids should be able to transfer just like coaches can piece out. Like, kids should be able to do the same thing. And it was the same thing with NIL. I'm like, yeah, they should be able to capitalize on if they're a famous person to be able to get the money because if it's not them getting it, it's somebody else, and it might as well be the person who's actually the famous one instead of somebody that is not and using that like, my point is being, but it's ruining the sport and it's making it very, very, very hard to be a fan of any team because you just never know what your team is.
It's not ruining the sport. It's just ruining the fan base. Like, you don't have that, like, fan following so much. So, one's like, dude, back when we were in school, I mean, like I said, dude, you followed Reggie Bush, right? Whether you cared for the USC Trojans or not, you knew who Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush were, right?
Yeah, but it was also the same time you knew every year that Rudy Carpenter was going to be the quarterback against him, and you had hopes and dreams that he was going to be able to make it happen.
Right. But now you don't have that. And
No.
I get that. There's no buy-in from the people. Like,
Don't even know who the quarterback is this year because our quarterback last year transferred. I don't even know who we're playing this year. Like,
yeah, and the other one that transferred is now up in the NFL because we gave him up, and Jaden McDaniels is playing for whoever. Now I can't remember who got drafted by, but
he's
one of the
football club,
one of
Commanders.
the 11 quarterbacks that got taken.
Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh, man. This year's NFL draft for quarterbacks was just
stupid.
crazy.
It was stupid.
Everybody's throwing a dart at the board and hoping that they hit the bullseye because
They're hoping they hit Tom Brady.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
They're trying everything they can to get a Tom Brady.
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, but every year there's going to be 5 guys that bust. And one of them is going to work out.
Yep.
I mean, we talked about the Baker Mayfield draft.
Yeah.
Like, the only one on that draft, there are 2 guys in that draft that actually really worked out. One of them was the last pick in the first round, Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP. The other one's Josh Allen. Maybe Baker.
He's coming around.
Baker's on his 4th team.
But yeah, he's bounced around.
Yeah,
Like,
on
he's
his 4th team. He got a good contract for that 4th team. But everybody else, Sam Darnold, backup where? I think he was with the 49ers last I knew. Josh Rosen, he's gone. He's not even in the league anymore.
Yeah, the Cardinals.
And
Really
of course, he was the
dropped that
Cardinal.
ball.
Yeah, he was the Cardinal, yeah. Well, dude, as we talked about, we didn't have much else to really talk about. Anything else you want to say before we wrap this one up?
No, I think it's been a good little episode for coming in with.
Have you heard anything about your GOT team?
No, I haven't heard anything.
I haven't heard anything else about mine either.
I just know. I mean, I'm when you look at the teams, it's pretty easy. My team completely destroyed everybody.
Disagree. What's up, babe? Oh, my daughter needs her kisses for 9
perfect
nights.
timing.
Perfect timing. We're going to wrap it up here anyway. All right, well, all you cheese bags, stay fresh.
And like fat kids in dodgeball, we're out. The JJ and Puck Show theme song is written, composed, and performed by Lane Hartman. Thank you to Highland Communities for the support of our show. You can find the JJ and Puck Show on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and anywhere you listen to your podcast. Just Google us if you're confused. Remember to share the show with your friends and family. Subscribe wherever you listen. Buy a shirt, reach out to us, and place an order. Each shirt is $20, and if we can hand deliver it, we will, but if we have to ship it, it'll be $25. If you're able, feel free to support us by sending a donation to us by going to kfo.com/the JJ and Pug Show. That's ko-fi.com/the JJ and Pug Show. And thanks again to all who listen. We really appreciate your support for our show, and we hope to continue to grow.